Welcome back to Olympus Critics. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a like for the algorithm that does the channel grow. So we're finally here. The Accountant 2. These are my thoughts. I haven't done one of these in a minute, but I'm gonna try to make it entertaining because some of these videos don't do too good. But I'm gonna get into this. This will be some spoiler talk. So if you have not seen the movie, get on up out of here. But yeah, let's get down to it. Did this movie deserve a sequel? Yes, this was actually good, and I'm gonna have to say it wasn't because of the action scenes. I think Jon Bernthal, Ben Affleck, their characters, Braxton and Chris, really just made up for a lot of what this movie lacked. And this movie lacked a very strong villain. The villain in this movie was weak, but their chemistry with each other definitely made up for it. And the characters that we saw in these two characters that is, really made you root for them. Both of them were dealing with loneliness in different types of ways. You had Chris, who's trying to build a connection with someone, and we saw that in the beginning of this film. I think that was a mixer he was at with the ladies and stuff, and he had, he was trying, but he just doesn't have social skills to be able to interact with a woman. But we hear that, we see that when he gets back up with Braxton, that was what he was trying to do, have somebody he can check up on. And you have Braxton, who's trying to, in his type of loneliness, he's dealing with it in a different type of way, where he's using his career to kind of hide it. But we saw him open up in this film. And I've always been curious of guys, we've seen lots of movies with contractors, mercenaries. They just come off cold blood. And we remember that in the first movie, he just seemed like a very cold blooded assassin like contractor. And we seen movies like the Bourne Identity films, when they hire somebody to go after Jason Bourne. Like, these guys just seem soulless. But seeing this character that Jon Bernthal portrayed, that he just wanted to be around his brother. You saw how his eyes lit up. This is somebody he trusts. Even when he was pissed off at him for not seeing him for 8 years, he still came to his brother's side. And you just saw that this is somebody that knows him. When we saw that when they went to the bar, how he was just rooting for Chris, and then Chris just knew what would get him excited. And that was a bar fight, and you just saw these two just needed each other to be around each other. They both was dealing with loneliness, and they came together in this movie, and they just banter. I mean, he knew how to push Chris's buttons. That's Braxton, and that just shows you that he just wanted to be around his brother. He said he looked for him for years. It just seemed like he just needed to be around him. It's the only person that understands him. The only person that knows how he thinks, knows what he likes. It's his brother. And Chris, at the end of this film, he just realized, I need to be around my brother as well, because he has my back. And I just thought that was just pretty cool to see. Even when he found out Braxton had that hit on the dean, even though he was pissed at him, he still loved his brother. And Braxton, even though he disagreed with what Chris was going to do, he still got in that truck, and he still had his brother's back. That was when installed in him as a kid, and he never stopped doing that. He still got in that truck, and he still was a ride or die for his brother. And when we got towards the end, we saw how touched he was that Chris had reservation for them to go hiking. So that was that was really cool to see in this movie. It wasn't really the action scenes, even though those were a plus but seeing them reconnect, seeing Braxton being able to be around his brother, a guy who's a cold-blooded mercenary. Like, he plays no games. We saw that in the first film. We saw that in this second film, how he is. But you saw him open up to Chris, and he probably didn't think he could do that, but this is the only person that knows him, that he can trust. And the same thing for Chris. So that was pretty cool to see in this film. Now, the villain, like I said, that was weak. It was weak. It looks like this character, Anisi, if I'm pronouncing that name wrong, I apologize. It just seems like they were setting her up. Her story kind of didn't. I was trying to see where that was going. She got into this car accident. She's responsible for Ray King getting towed up. I don't think they should have released that in the trailer. It would have been nice to see that in the movie. But she's the reason why he got towed, because the guy who was trying to hide from her, when he found out that Ray was digging into that, he didn't want her to remember who he was, because she's deadly. They're definitely afraid of her. So it just seemed like they were setting her up, because she almost took out Nadeem in this movie. She didn't give two splits about when she found out her son was in that prison, and I like that Gavin O'Connor them didn't involve her in that scene, because I just thought it made her look more cold-blooded. She didn't show up to help Chris them rescue her son. She just went back to doing what she did best, and that's just taking out people. I don't even think she even took out the guy for revenge. I just think she just did it because she liked it. She enjoys it. She enjoys inflicting pain. She had no remorse for what she did to Nadeem. She didn't even care that her son was in prison down there in Mexico, and they was about to tag him. She's not redeemable. So if they do make her the villain for the third movie, she's not redeemable. I just thought that made her more cold-blooded, that she was not there to help out Chris and Braxton rescue those kids. I was expecting her to be there, like a last-minute rescue, but she was nowhere to be found. I just thought that made her more menacing and more diabolical. But that's crazy that she got smart off an accident. That just triggered something in her brain where she got smart. She just got more violent. She trained to fight. Now she's one of these deadly assassins. Yeah, I think she would make a great third villain. And Anna Kendrick, she said she wants to be a part of the third film. This movie has got to make some money, though. It really does. That's why I was shocked that this was going into theaters instead of streaming. First movie didn't do too well. It got that pickup when it got on the streaming. A lot of people started to pick up on it in streaming. So hopefully it makes some money, but it's against a lot of competition. I'm talking Sinners, Thunderbolts. Until Dawn is trash, but you just got back-to-back movies it's competing with. So that I just thought this was not a good idea to put it on streaming. In theaters. It should have been in streaming. I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully this movie make a lot of money, but I just thought it was just against tough competition right now. But hopefully good word of mouth gets out and this movie makes money and we can get a third film. But I can see this person as the villain for Chris and Braxton, because she's not good. I don't think she's redeemable. They can go. She could be a threat to them for attacking their loved ones or something like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this movie. What do you think? What are your thoughts on it? Did you enjoy the dynamic between the brothers? Did that make up for a weak villain? Some of the action scenes was cool, but I just thought that was pretty cool with getting that chemistry between them. But post comments, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel.